Orlando Pirates thought we wouldn't see it, but they signed Khositsile to replace Umfukeng, and he's doing just that. And in this video, we're going to look at how this setup by Orlando Pirates, although it was a good one, could not penetrate Durban City, and how the change of bringing in Radiopane and Khositsile changed the game, and how this is going to become problematic for teams in the PSL and maybe the Champions League. Hello and welcome to the Cutback with me, Coach Mpilo. Here we analyze football matches tactically, so do make sure to subscribe and follow depending on where you're watching for more content like this. Right, so let's get into how this whole thing started, and it starts with how Pirates usually set up, but this time we're just gonna focus on the right hand side where it's Belebele wide and Apolis just on the half space. And what then happens is that as the ball progresses, you see the same pattern. Sibelebele remains on the wide side and then Apolis remains centrally. Why that, you ask? Well, you will see when Danson gets involved. Apolis gets the ball slightly central in the half space, and what this does is it does two things. One, the left back has to now engage Sibelebele, and in him engaging Sibelebele, there is now that huge gap between him and his center back here, because the center back cannot move across because he's busy marking Umbuthuma. As a result, there is this huge gap which can then be attacked by Utensin. In some cases, it's Utito when they do it on the left hand side, but for the sake of this video, we are focusing on the right hand side. But whenever they tried to do this, the problem was Durban City were very quick in closing Pirates down and closing those spaces back. You can even see here in this other example, there are many more. Danson gets the ball on the other side. They've forced this triangle, they combined on that side, and Durban City, as you can see, most of their players are facing the other side. They are facing where the ball is being played, which means that now there are two players that we've been talking about in Apolis here and Sibelebele down here. So now the ball can be switched to them, and it does get switched. And when it does get switched, you see the same thing. There's a gap between the left center back and, let me show you in case you don't see, there is their left center back, there is their left back, because this guy is trying to be tight on Buthuma, and then this other guy is also low-key thinking about Sibelebele. So as a result, there is that space in between them, which now Sibelebele heads the ball, he's trying to get the ball into that space. That gap is there. If they are quick enough, Pirates here, they attack that space quicker, but Durban City were even quicker, so they recover the ball. Look at that. There's now 5 Durban City players around Apolis, which meant that Pirates needed something that was going to be slightly different. Someone who could be an Apolis and Sibelebele at the same time. Now, enter this guy, Kabelo Khositsile. When he comes on, him and he comes together with Radiopane. So what happens? First of all, let's look at how the boy positions himself. He comes in, he's gonna play as a right winger. That's the back four of Durban City, arranged in that way. Now I want you to focus on the top of your screen. You can see that Khositsile finds himself wide, but also there's no one even close to him, and in fact he holds his run, because if you start here you'll realize that he's not trying to sprint into the box as quickly as possible, but he kind of holds his run, and then now he can start running. No one is even aware that he's there. Tito does not pass him, and then the chance is wasted. It does not end there, because you see it in this other chance as well. You can see now that I think it was Lunga. Yes, it was Lungu who gets the ball there. And now Khositsile is no longer the wide one. As I said before, if he was here, he was doing the Sibelebele, which is the right back thing that Pirates does. And then the wingers run between the left back and the left center back in that half space. Now there he is popping up between the left back and the left center back. And again, he now makes that movement wide, and now he gets the ball. Again, he is free. He's not just free because Durban City are bad. He's free because he's able to position himself in the right way. Again here, he finds himself free in the back post, and in this case, I don't know, should he have scored? I think it was just great defending, because that was not expected. Because if you keep on looking at how he positions himself and how he moves, watch his movement here. how he positions himself. He moves away, right? He moves away, the left back follows him. Just watch the highlighted player. And now since he's moved away, he has made this guy, the left back, indecisive, because on one hand he's thinking this guy's gonna get the ball and shoot, but on the other hand he's thinking they are players who have dragged out the center backs, or the center back and the 6, so he wants to cover them, but now he's confused. And at professional level, that momentary confusion can be very costly. So the ball moves across and Pirate continues to work the ball across, and it just stays wide. He's not rushing into the box, he's just kind of jogging a bit, and by the time the ball is short, which I think was just pure selfishness for Mumremy, because he could have passed the ball to someone who's always free, he doesn't pass the ball. Here's another example. There he is now between the two Durban City players. Once again, just drifting and walking, and you see he's not attacking space. He just stands there. Why? Because if here in this case the ball is played back by Lungu, he can score, because he does not need to also attack and run into the space, because there's already Pirates players who are making the run into the box. So that recognition of where the space is and where everyone is going is what I think also makes him very special. Because for him to position himself the way that he does, we also have to talk about how he moves off the ball. By the way, I hope you are noticing, we are talking about what he does with the ball, but mostly we've just talked about what he does without the ball, because most things that happen in football happens when players are not even touching the ball. So that's why we're analyzing what's happening without the ball. Football. Anyways, let's go back. So as you can see, he's now, what he does here, what he does, watch this. He moves closer to the ball a bit, and then now he sprints into space, and then here the interception is just good. But this is such a good thing, because some players, because they have pace, they think that they should just, other players in this case will just try and stand here all the time, but that makes it easy for the defender to mark you, because they know where you are. But by him making this movement towards the ball, watch this movement. As he moves towards the ball, he drags the defender, and then there's space behind. Now let's run into that space, and he's always gonna beat you for pace, but then the pass was not well calculated. Here's another example. Pirates have the ball, they're transitioning into attack. He wins the ball, he passes it back. Now let's go. Now he's now sprinting into space. He doesn't stop. Release him now. They don't. It's too slow. And then eventually when they pass him the ball, they pass him to feet. But a player who's this quick and is already, look here. If the ball is passed to him, to that space, no one is catching him. If this pass goes either straight, where is the arrow now? If this pass goes straight here, or even here, no one is catching him at all. But Radiopane does not see that, and then obviously he gets caught when he causes to dribble. Now again, there he is. Watch his movement. He moves back, and then boom, he's attacking space. But then he realizes, okay, the ball is not going there. Now he has to move back, dragging the left back with him, creating that space for Tansen to run into, and now he can get the ball and win the foul. Another example from his movement, brilliant movement. You have Khositsile again, Kabelo, here. He's now on the central, he's drifted centrally, and the ball goes wide to Lungu, and then he gets the ball. He knows that the center back is the left back is gonna follow him, and look at this. He does not become selfish with the ball, but rather he plays a simple pass into the path of Lungu. But then, as we talked about, Durban City were actually really good with how they defended. Another example, he's there saving the ball from becoming a throw-in. He passes it forward, but now watch what happens. He has won the ball, and now that hunger to say, okay, we've won the ball, but now I'm going to sprint forward and be the one to win that ball, and then end up being in this situation where he actually loses the ball. In this case, of course, he's a person, he's gonna make mistakes. Now, talking about movement also goes well with timing, because for a player who's this quick, I was watching Ukhatlana. I know we're comparing different sports. Ibn Banyana, she was trying to get on the ball, but she was getting offside a lot. And you see quick players, they usually get offside a lot. But Untwana, I did not see him get offside, because his timing paired with his movement becomes really excellent. So here he is, he's moving, the defender is watching him, and now you're gonna watch his run. He does not go straight, which is something that other players would do, which is just run into the space, because then you're gonna be offside. But what he does, watch him. I will even slow it down so that you can see. 0.5. So watch his movement. He goes towards the defender, then he goes straight. Now he's not going to be caught offside, and then he plays a cross that goes to Radiopane, but then that's a good block. That's really good defending, and that's a really good movement of the ball. Here he is again, he's moving towards the ball, right? And then in him moving towards the ball, then he turns again. Now let's attack space. In this case, they release him, thank God, unlike before. But once he starts driving, I feel like Radiopane could have been sprinting quicker. But in any case, he still finds him, and then Radiopane fails to convert, and that's not his fault. Talking about his passing, there he is again, driving with the ball, outside foot pass, and then that's another chance for Radiopane, but then it doesn't happen. I call what you're about to see the rally, but it's for Pirates purposes. I also call it the Messi, because Messi does that a lot, where he starts from wide with the ball, like here, he starts with the ball, and then he starts drifting inside. But in him drifting inside, he passes the ball, they just pass it back to him. Now he dribbles and drifts inside, and here you can either foul him, because if you don't foul him, guess what's going to happen? He's going to dribble through to the space. Now you have a lot of problems, because once he's in the space, he's in his shooting space, or he plays a pass there, he plays a through ball here, he plays a pass here, he plays a pass wide. So that whole thing of coming from the side and then being able to do this is just excellent. Once again, here's another thing that I call the rally, the creativity of a player who does not want to just do things for himself, because here he is on this side, gets the ball, and another winger, if it's Mremi, he probably tries to take it down the byline, he probably tries to go this way, or he probably comes back this way, wait, dotted lines, he comes back this side, he cuts in, he shoots, but Ntwana sees that someone is in a better position, and then he passes him. By the way, this is the third chance. Well, at this point it wasn't the third chance for Radiopane, it was the fourth one, because he is also on set piece duty apparently. Always new, but there he is, set piece duty, so they must trust him. And then there's this other chance that he gets here, he plays a short corner, and then they play it back to him, and then he crosses, Radiopane misses again, which tells me that when Wadu brought him and Radiopane on, he aimed to have them play together. So the thing is that I watch with this boy is I look at him and say, actually Pirates are still gonna cook, and Ntwana is going to be very dangerous. So yeah, that's the player analysis for Khositsile. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, you like it, but you can also tell me which other player, Pirates, Chiefs, Sundowns, you'd like me to make a video on. Right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Share with your friends. Bye bye.